So, last we left off, we split the party. um,
Yay!
Half of you guys, including Hawk, Erin, and Levy, stayed behind at the tragedy house and started to try to hunt down some kids. You managed to locate the children, Echo and Egress, and they both seemed fairly apprehensive about this. They don't really understand your intentions. They're very confused as to what you're even doing. And they said that they would think about joining you at the tragedy house so long as you guys promised to make Demir get rid of the clump of hair that she stole from Egress. The other group traveled to the city of Opius, and may or may not have crashed directly into an air elemental on your way over. Before going to the shop to pick up the bag that Lish had requested from Farvis, and then dropping in on your friend Varhasa, the archivist. She gave you guys a book and mentioned that she bookmarked the correct page, and she did her best to answer what questions she could, such as about mages from the Katia Institute coming to visit her archive. But it really seems like at this point, no one really has answers as to what's going on. People have definitely noticed that something seems to be wrong with the world at large. So, which group do you want to start with today?
Not me.
I was gonna say, I think last time we ended on the Opius group. I don't know if they want to continue, but
yeah, we ended where Lish and Demir brought up Nevara to Varhasa.
Varhasa didn't have any answers, but she said she'd look into it among the other things that she's looking into.
Oh, cool. Never mind then.
Okay. Well, Kenzie just left, so maybe we should go to group one.
Yeah.
Great.
She did say she'd have to get up for a moment, so.
Yeah. So those of you that stayed back at the tragedy house, is there anything that you wish to accomplish while you're there? Anything you want to read, or any places you'd like to visit in the city? Oh yes, and Erin bought some fancy magical paints while visiting the city.
Yes, and they're so cool.
Levy did want to pick somebody's, probably Aldrich's brain about the Plane of Dreams, and then the Summer Glade, and then the counterpart to the Summer Glade that she was shown in her fortune thingy.
Okay.
Ooh, if Lee's going to seek out a wizard, Hawk has something that he wants to talk to them about.
Okay. So it sounds like Hawk and Levy are going to the Katia Institute. Erin, would you like to join them?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
College party.
College party.
They left the nerds behind. Well, they took one of them with them.
You guys make your way to the Katia Institute. Do you just seek the people out you're seeking immediately? Do you split up or stay together? How are you guys doing this?
I mean, if we're all going to like different places and different talking to different people, we could just split up about it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, I'm not really sure who I would be asking for my request, but do you know where you would be going, Levy?
I am not into the whole voice thing today. Sorry.
It's okay.
The heads up.
I'm amazed that I'm even able to do mine, so don't worry.
Her first guess at who might be able to give her some ideas is Aldrich, because he's the plain dude, but you know.
Yeah.
So she'll probably go see if he's available somewhere.
All right.
Like, I'll go with him. Hawk will go with him. Hawk will go to him with her. There we go.
Word hard.
Word hard.
Words difficult.
Words difficult. Yeah. Like once she's done, he'll ask, like, "Hey, who do I go to for this?"
Yeah, I guess Aaron will go with them too.
Okay. So you guys are able to seek out Aldrich. There is a space in the Katia Institute, relatively near the offices, that is, for lack of a better descriptor, it's apparently a combination of like a laboratory and target practice range for people to practice their magic on their own between classes. Aldrich is up there. He's not doing anything in specific right now, but he seems to be just kind of flipping through his spell book. As you approach, he sort of looks up, says, hello again.
It's awkward hi hello wave. Hi there, so sorry. I meant to ask you questions, but I forgot before. There's a car alarm going on. Okay.
I will attempt to answer any questions that you may have.
Yeah, of course. If you don't have my answers, I'll probably just go hit the books. But I'm fairly certain that a relative of mine has at least attempted to go off to the plane of dreams, and I was wondering, and also there's I think some portals and things involved in my particular situation. So tangentially related to the plane of dreams. The Summer Glade, have you heard of that? It just kind of she'll like point northeast ish. Kind of that way near this little podunk town that I'm from.
I have not actually heard of the Summer Glade, but if you're looking for information on the Plane of Dreams, admittedly, my knowledge on that subject is very limited, but I could tell you what I do know if that would be helpful to you.
Yes, absolutely. Just like a starting point. I would appreciate it. She's gonna pull out her book.
So, the way that planes work in times when they don't seem to be shifting around, is there are the inner planes, and then there are the outer planes. The material plane is at the heart of this, and it is surrounded on either side by the Feywild and the Shadowfell. Surrounding those, there are the 4 elemental planes, and as such, the Feywild material plane and Shadowfell are where the 4 elemental planes overlap. The Plane of Dreams, much like the ethereal plane, it is connected to these inner planes, and it touches the prime material plane at different points, to my knowledge, and it is rather difficult to find these places where they touch, but they historically have been how to put this delicately, they can be very dangerous places, as things can act rather unpredictably. So for their own protection, as well as the protection of those who may be nearby, these touch points tend to be rather well hidden. However, if you were able to find one, small things may be able to pass through both ways.
Things like, say, a quarry spirit.
Potentially.
Okay. Is that all? Is that all you have for me, then?
That is all I know about those in particular. I tend to know more about the outer planes.
That's fine. Thank you much. No, this is great. This is a great starting point. I think I will go to the library next. I appreciate your help quite a bit. Thank you.
Powerful planet travelers may be able to point you in the direction of touch points.
Okay.
So if I am uncertain if in order to enter through one touch point, they would find themselves in a similar place as another. So you'd probably need to find a specific one if you're planning to travel to a specific part of the Plane of Dreams.
Right. That will come much later, but thank you. I have a lot of research to do, so I
Oh.
will be going. I don't know if these two have anything to ask you, but
I did, actually. I was wondering something. You spent time at the house we've occupied. You've seen Esme, the ghost.
I have.
She's still bound to the house, of course, and she can't exactly interact with everything in it, much to her dismay. I've had to help her personally with gardening, which seems to be a passion of hers. I was wondering if there's a way for ghosts to still interact with the material plane.
Well, ghosts, being not entirely corporeal, are able to interact in very limited ways. The best way to handle them is to either attempt to resurrect them or attempt to banish them.
Okay. So there's nothing I can do really to help her out in the state that she's in other than those two things?
I'm afraid not.
Okay. I don't think she'd take kindly to either one of those, honestly, but it was worth a try.
If she died of old age, you wouldn't be able to resurrect her properly anyway. My knowledge of restoration magic, such as that, if a being has died of natural causes, they may only live again for a moment before passing away again.
Makes sense. I'm not even sure if she has much of a body left at this point.
If you have access to powerful enough magics, you wouldn't necessarily need a body.
Well, we don't exactly, so.
Then it sounds like your only option would be to banish her from this realm.
If she ever feels like she's
Well-
done all her work, then perhaps.
I had a very limited interaction with her, granted, but that didn't really seem like something that she would want.
That's what I think, yeah. I would only ever consider banishing her if she truly felt like she was ready to move on.
Of course.
Oh well. I don't mind giving her a helping hand with the garden at least.
And at this point, Aldrich looks to you, Erin. Was there anything I could help you with?
Oh, I was mostly just, accompanying them. You don't happen to know anything about Celestials, do you?
Celestials in what way?
I don't know, I guess. Maybe as creatures? Like that might be a bit broad, but do you know what they're
Well,
like?
Generally, they are the embodiment of good. They are from the outer planes, the upper outer planes specifically. Depending on which of the outer planes they are from, they could act in different ways. but there are angels, there are archons, there are cardinals, and there are paragons, of course, and then of course there are the gods themselves.
Oh, all right. But regardless, they are going to have real, strong moral codes and convictions.
Not necessarily. There are those, to my knowledge, there are celestials who follow a moral code, as you are describing. They believe that rules are put in place for the good of society and to protect people from those who would do them harm. There are those who believe that if beings such as you and I, mortals, are given freedom to act independently and spread our own wings, then that is when people will be given the space to be truly good.
Oh, okay.
There are also those who do believe that someone can pick and choose situations that would allow them to do what they can to be good. There are those who, well, they may believe in rules sometimes, and sometimes they may believe in freedoms. So there's a wide variety.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's very helpful.
I'm glad I could be of assistance.
Well, I think we're gonna leave you to it then. Yeah. Good luck on your duties.
I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for all the information and the help that you've given us before as well.
Of course, and you know where to find me should you have need of me once more.
Right, to the library then?
I suppose.
All right. So, as you may recall, given that you are not students of the institute, it is 10 gold per hour of research, one book at a time.
Fuck it. All right. Yeah, 10 gold.
All right. Mark down the 10 gold. You give it to the Fearbulk head librarian. Urin and Hawk, are you guys going to do any studying?
I'm trying to think of anything that Hawk would want to study at this point. You know what? Let's expand his knowledge a little bit. He's just gonna pay up 10 gold.
All right.
there's my gold counter. Just
Aaron?
I think Aaron's probably not going to.
Okay.
He'll just sit outside for a while.
All right. You hang out outside. You see people come to and fro in the library, including a man that looks like a dwarf, but he has kind of gray skin, dark hair, an elaborate braided beard, and eyes that glow like forges. And he is talking to a female half orc as they enter the library. Levy, please make an investigation check and tell me what you are researching.
She's looking for books on the plane of dreams, more specifically like touch points and such. But really anything will do at this point because she just doesn't have a lot. Don't fucking fail me now. It failed me. Okay. That's gonna be 8.
Okay. So most of the books that you find are rather abstract when talking about the plane of dreams. In one of them, actually, the phrase comes up, trying to define the plane of dreams is like trying to graph the act of falling in love. It's pointless, it's frustrating for everyone, it's confusing at times.
She's going to roll her eyes and shut the book and put it back on the shelf.
But yeah, you're not able to find much, unfortunately.
Awesome. We got poetry instead of actual information. Love it.
at least it was okay.
Your cousin might be happier about that, but and Hawk, what were you researching?
Aldrich already told him like what to do with Esme potentially, but he still knows nothing about how ghosts work because he doesn't have one. Or at least I like to think that's the reason. Jokingly. So he's going to look for information on ghosts and other incorporeal beings.
Okay.
All right.
Roll investigation.
Oh, that's a 17.
17. Okay. You're able to find a book about some of the various kinds of undead. And there are a few that are listed as incorporeal, such as wraiths and banshees. Ghosts, the way it's described, they can see into the ethereal plane when it is on the material plane. And if it goes to the ethereal plane, it can actually still see onto the material plane. It can move through creatures and objects. And there's also a section that talks about if you are touched by a ghost, the ghost can choose to hurt you. They can also choose to try to frighten you, and that's in fact how the book describes how they tend to keep to themselves. If there, and it has a few stories of people who've wandered into a place where a ghost is, and the ghost has been able to scare them away. so that it can remain undisturbed. There's even a couple of recorded cases where being frightened in such a way has aged the person by a few years.
Oh. Hawk is intrigued, and this is just set him on a rabbit hole. He's probably gonna spend the rest of his allotted research time just like absorbing the information in this book.
Okay.
At one point, he might even be like, Levy, look. I didn't know there were this many kinds of ghosts. This is kind of disturbing, but also very interesting. I'm kind of glad Esme isn't any of these.
Yeah, we're real lucky that she's rather nice.
Mm-hmm.
You also get to a section where sometimes the ghost can possess a person, causing the person to attack those they would not ordinarily attack, such as their friends or companions.
That sounds familiar. Yeah, he's just going to keep reading this book. He doesn't know anything about the undead, so this is just a gold mine to him.
All right. Do either of you wish to spend another hour researching?
If Levy's done, Hawk will be done too. One more?
One more try.
One more try.
Don't fail me now, dice.
All right, that's 10 more gold. Make sure you mark that down.
Yeah. Got it. In inventory.
I'm gonna have some fun. Mark down
Don't
10
fail
more
me
gold.
now. Don't fail me again. 23.
23.
Yo!
All right.
It didn't fail you again.
So by asking the right people around the library, and being very charming as you are able to convince them to let you have access to some of the less commonly accessed books. It describes the plane. One of them describes a plane of dreams. The way it is described, it's described as like the back door to all reality. And it's ruled by the minds of dreamers, and it's endlessly changing. It's an endlessly changing sea dotted with islands and boats of each individual fantasy. There can be things such as prophecies and omens that are found there, and occasionally powerful creatures such as dragons or hags will pass through the sea in order to reach other planes. And describing it itself is kind of impossible in a way. But you have been there before every night, but you forget the shape and form of it when you wake, recalling only the fragments of what you see. And there are ways to get to the plane of dreams while also being awake. There is a spell called Dream itself, which works by essentially creating something of a dream avatar for the person it's cast on, who is then plane shifted into the plane of dreams, and that can allow people to go into the dreams of others and message them or occasionally hurt them. But it allows people to essentially penetrate the planar boundary. There is also there are also various, as Aldrich described, touch points for the plane of dreams. There are quite a few in Ahawi, being a continent that is so connected with the natural world. And while this book does not mention the Summer Glade, it does mention something called the Forgotten Grove, which is somewhere within the border peaks, also known as the Devaya Mountains, which separates Neyveli from Island. But the book does not give a specific location. Just somewhere within that mountain range.
Sweet. Hang on. Seeing as she's a sage with the researcher feat, she would... Yeah. She would probably know where to find that information, maybe? A more specific...
Not necessarily.
Fucking balls. Would she be able to ask around with any level of success?
The way it's mentioned, and given the information that Aldrich gave you about these spaces being very hidden, it's a miracle this was mentioned in this book at all. You'd probably need to ask an extra planner being.
Okay.
All right. Hawk, was there anything else that you were going to research and leave you second hour?
Yeah, but first, just like it came to mind, just ask an extra planar being, "Hey, Lish." But secondarily, he still doesn't know what that backwards handicap was, so he's gonna try and find information on that.
All right, Mark.
Wait, no, he doesn't know what the eye orb is. He has
Okay.
the name for the cat, but not the weird thing that shot lasers and killed Lish.
All right. Mark off another 10 gold and roll an investigation check.
All right. That's an 8.
You managed to get some information on something called, hang on, let's see. You are able to get information on something called a spectator.
Yes. Good.
It is a creature with a total of 5 eyes, 1 in the middle, and then 4 on tentacles. And it floats, and it can it can reflect spells back towards the people who cast it.
I'm gonna roll. Can I roll an intelligence check for that little piece of information to tick him off, like, or rather tip him off that, like,
Wait, hang on. I don't think it did that. Wait, no, did it do that? It canceled spells, I think. I don't know if it reflected any.
You rolled an 8. As far as you're concerned, yeah, that sounds pretty accurate.
Okay, fair. I'd want him to fail that anyway, so. All right. Cool. Hey guys, I figured out what the eye orb thing's called. Apparently reflects magic. I'm so glad it didn't do that.
All right. Erin, have you just been sitting out there for 2 hours, or do you do anything?
Yeah, he's gonna sit out there for a little bit, and then he's gonna get bored, and start wandering a bit.
Okay. So as you wander about, you eventually start making your way, I guess, towards the College of Arts. There's lots of different theaters and studios and concert halls all around. You eventually stumble upon, hold on, Tazyara Hall, an amphitheater.
All right. Yeah, I mean, if stuff's seeming interesting, he'll go in, he'll go check that out.
Okay. So you head on in, and you find a drawing class going on. It is being taught by a half-elf with long dark hair, and there is a nude model. They are sitting on a table, and they are a tiefling. They have purple skin and long curly hair that's sort of like draped across the table. And there are various students sitting on the benches of the amphitheater drawing this tiefling.
All right. Guess Aaron's just auditing a class today. Yeah, he's just gonna he's not certain how allowed to be in here he is necessarily. But he's kind of just gonna try to sit unobtrusively, on the outer edges of the room, maybe repositioning every so often to see what other people are doing.
All right. Everyone is drawing this purple tiefling in charcoal. Some are better than others, but everyone seems very focused on what they're doing, and no one really seems to care that you're
Yay! Yeah, he's just gonna see, what techniques and style stuff he can glean in them.
Okay.
And it's probably not much. He's mostly just watching these people and being like, wow, that's so cool.
I'll tell you what, roll a perception check.
All right. Decent. 16.
16. You're able to see that people are doing shading in a couple of different ways. There's one person that's kind of scoring a little bit and then taking their finger and rubbing at it to shade. There's another person who's using the side of the charcoal to shade the curves of the tiefling, the tiefling's tail. And you're able to get some good inspiration from this.
Nice. All right.
All right. Do you just hang out there the whole time?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
he'll just looking around, and then at some point be like, "Wait, shit! I just wandered off."
Uh,
Run
yeah.
back.
After about an hour, the class ends. The tiefling is helped off of the table by the half elf, and they wrap themselves in like a blanket and just start like talking to the students a little bit.
Nice.
Like they're not getting dressed. They are putting on a towel. That's enough. They know that they're good looking.
Nice.
But yeah, you run back and rejoin Hawk and Levy as they exit the library.
Find
Right.
anything useful?
So
Fair.
Well, I definitely learned to. Oh God, hang on.
Sorry.
You good?
Yeah, just had to cough a little bit. It's okay.
Okay.
No, I lost my train of thought. Heck. Okay, now I remember. I've got more knowledge than I used to on the sort of. I hesitate to say thing, but undead, I guess, that Esme is. It's a very informative book in there. While I was at it, I also tried to figure out what exactly that thing that attacked us in the caves was. And I can for sure say that we were a little lucky.
You call that thing lucky?
It could have done worse.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, the book mentioned something about spell reflection, and that does not sound good.
Oh, jeez. No, that's terrifying.
Like I said, very lucky that she's a lovely lady.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure how useful that knowledge is going to be, but I have it now, so that's better than not.
Yeah, you'll be more prepared. If that ever happens again, I guess.
I hope it doesn't. I more so meant undead. I really hope we don't run into another spectator.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. You know, I don't know if it was what the show meant, but we do know several people, and Aaron, looks over at Levy, who can like move objects around with magic.
I mean, that's
Maybe
a spell.
we could teach her something.
Teaching ghost magic?
That's a good question. I don't know if that's possible. Is there any? Do you have to be corporeal to cast magic? Do you know?
I have no idea, but I really like this idea.
It is a
I'm
good
gonna
idea.
try.
It is a good idea. To be fair, like I don't have flesh or bones or anything like that, but I can still cast a couple magic tricks.
Yeah.
Would you like to join magic lessons with Esme if she wants to learn?
Honestly, I would love nothing more.
Wonderful. Aaron? Who
Sure.
wants to learn mage hand?
I mean, that should be fun.
All right, let's go. Let's go home.
All right.
Leafy's magic school.
Yeah.
A
A sorcerer
Mage
teaching
hand.
magic. This is gonna be great.
You make your way back home. No one
Hawk
has
might-
anything else they want to do.
Hawk might pester Levy about what she learned in the library. Since
Okay.
I imagine they split up because, like, Hawk went to the monster section, Levy went to the plain section, and then the secret to rare book room.
Yeah, you know that
Yes.
room up in the top floor, Powell's, where like it's closed off.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I've actually been
kinda
in there. It's sick.
It's kind of like that vibe.
Sweet. Well, yeah, she'll be like learned about mostly some stuff that she already knew. Read some bad poetry for a second there. But got a name of a touch point that would be on this continent, hopefully, fingers crossed. And she intends to ask Lish if he might know anything, maybe, perhaps. And if not, she might just go ahead and find two people, one who can cast a dream and one who can be affected by the spell dream because she cannot.
Oh, I can dream.
Okay. Cool.
I'm capable of subconscious thought.
Just somebody who can have the spell cast on them and it won't just go.
That shouldn't be hard to
What
find.
yeah. What kind of stuff would you be looking for in a magic dream thing?
Well, I would have you kind of poke around the plane and see if you can't find maybe any sign of poet without us having to risk trying to go there but not getting there, you know? And then also you know, seeing if you can't find any of those little touch points, like whatever. But that is plan B. Plan A is ask Lish. It kind of tends to be half the time in this party, I'm realizing.
When in doubt,
happens
ask
when
the
you're, like,
Lish.
A million years old.
He knows stuff.
It's not like he served on the Winter Court as king for God knows how many years or anything. What would he know?
Nothing.
Just like, oh, would you look at that? I'm so old that I forgot. Oh well.
No thoughts.
And plus, like we know and trust him. It's fine. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
He won't steal our names in the future or anything. I'm sure he's a buddy. He's a friend.
Stealing implies that, well, at least Levy didn't just like fucking give it. I'm just like, here you go, bud.
He doesn't need Hawk's name at this point. Hawk already owes him.
True. I'm still awaiting the day that he cashes in on that. That's going to be interesting. That said, though, if we're all done over here in checking the map, Royus, do you want to go back to the other team?
You're not done.
Oh, we're not?
We were gonna
No.
go home.
Right.
Yeah.
Magic lessons.
You go home and there is something on the front porch. Two things, actually.
Oh.
You can see Echo kind of just sitting and keeping a lookout while Egress is trying to pick the lock to your front door.
You can't call people things.
Rude. Levy fucking hustles it over. She's like, you showed up. Hello. Welcome home. Hang on. I'm assuming she has a key and she
Yeah.
opens the fucking door and
All right, you open the
Aaron,
front door, and like both twins kind of look at you and then peek in, and then Echo looks back up at you and says, "Your house sucks."
for now, yes it does. For now. We're getting it fixed, don't worry. Not for, it won't be run down for very long.
All right. Do we go in, I guess?
Yes, come in.
They kind of go in and tiefling tales, are very expressive. And you know when you're looking at your cat and the tail just starts twitching a little bit? They're doing that.
The curious but sus as fuck investigation flick.
The I don't trust this. I'm gonna see what the fuck is up.
What? Feel free to make yourselves at home. Just try not to break anything, especially if it looks very, very old and kind of expensive. That does belong to the resident ghost, and she's a nice lady. We don't want to upset her.
Egris kind of walks over to where the wallpaper is peeling a little bit and just kind of like pokes it and it peels a little bit more, and he like jumps back and does that. Like,
yep.
I'm not sure we'll have to try very hard to break anything.
Probably not. But wherever you want to settle in and put your things for now while everything gets improved is fine. But we did already kind of decide what rooms were what. And we did reserve a space for you two.
oh, and you can tell us what kind of improvements you'd like it to have. What you'd like it
Yes.
to eventually look like when we get it all fixed up.
Absolutely. You can design something for yourselves. Absolutely. That was excellent idea, Erin.
They start kind of edging forward a bit to explore. They're like looking at you hesitantly. They're giving the look that kids look like, I want to look around, but am I allowed to go on my own? I don't want to get yelled at.
Go look around. Try not to touch anybody else's stuff that's already here. Otherwise, I think it's relatively okay if you just go explore, go look around, go see what the place is like.
So-
Welcome home.
The kids actually start heading towards the back first. They pass through the dining room. Do you follow them or do you just let them do as they please?
I think Levy will go upstairs because like the bottom floor is more or less like communal space,
Okay.
but people's rooms are upstairs, so you
Okay.
know, they're street kids, so
After a couple of minutes, you hear someone playing on the piano.
Oh.
The piano is very out of tune, and it's clear that there's no real rhythm. No real no real song that's being played in particular, but there is a rhythm to it. It's coming from the music room.
Nice. Does Levy want to hang out with Huck while he continues his paper sorting?
Yeah, it's on the second floor, so she'll probably
Yeah.
actually kind of linger in the doorway and take a box of files to sort through. With the door propped open so she can listen for the kids.
DM, can I roll to see how done he is with paperwork? Like how far into the sorting he is?
Sure.
We're depressed, I know, but
yeah, I'm trying to think about what check that would be.
I was going to do like a flat D20 and skill on
Flat
a 20.
intelligence.
Flat intelligence? Okay. Okay, we add that. That's +2. The sheet could load faster, that'd be great. Okay, yeah, that's 11.
You're getting there. It's a lot of paperwork, given that this house is very old. You're kind of just going through all of it, but you're getting there.
Huck sort of just like makes an offhanded remark about like, oh, we're gonna have to tune that piano, aren't we?
There is definitely talent there if it is nurtured.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just like, I don't mind it, but they and probably everyone else in the house would probably like that a lot more if it were not hindered by the piano it's being played on.
Oh, fixing the piano, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Okay.
Usually I can type and listen at the same time, but today is not that day.
It's okay.
Yeah, no, fixing it, like she's gonna agree that fixing the piano would be pretty nice, but then I feel like she would remember the harp at mention of the piano
Yeah, I mean, probably.
and go, oh fuck, and go downstairs to try to make sure the harp doesn't get touched.
So you run downstairs, and you can see Echo sitting on the bench of the piano. Egress is nowhere to be seen. And when you come in, Echo just stops playing and looks at you.
Actually, one thing, definitely don't touch it. Harp, the harp is sharp.
Harp is sharp.
Like, the notes are high?
No, as in it'll hurt you.
Hawks are just like delayed, comes behind her like, what did you rush down for?
The harp, Hawk.
What about it?
It bites.
Really?
I don't
Out of
think that's
character
something that
question.
harps can do.
Metaphorically, it bite. It's a magic harp.
Mackenzie had a question though.
Just out of character question. I'm just checking to see if I misremembered incorrectly. When it was Demir that identified the harp, wasn't it just a harp that like it has an enchantment on it that makes the player want to play it, and then that's it?
Yeah,
Like,
if you
a
failed the
permanent-
save, you would play it, but you'd cut your fingers on the strings. However, since Demir cast Identify on it, which requires touching it, she made her save, and so the enchantment is done. Echo, however, kind of looks at Levy, then looks at the harp, and then casts Mage Hand and pushes the harp over, and it breaks.
Well, that's one way to make it harmless.
I don't think Esme's going to appreciate that.
Very expensive harp.
Levy's gonna move it somewhere and lay it down very gently. In some approximation of being held together.
Okay, you shove the harp in the corner.
She's gonna lay it on the floor very gently.
And Echo is just looking at you. She's like very clearly waiting to see your reaction on this.
Do you remember what I said about breaking the really old stuff?
Yeah.
Please not again.
You said it was dangerous. Why would you have something like dangerous like that in your house?
Because the very nice ghost woman likes it.
How do you know?
Where is Esme? Esme?
No response.
Shit. Well, it's her stuff, and well, she doesn't have a lot of stuff, and well,
You want? No, go ahead.
she's dead, so she doesn't get a lot of nice things because she's dead.
So then you're just planning on leaving everything the way it is?
Well, not everything, but
dust
like let her have a few
and-
things.
Why do you need things if you're dead?
Because it's nice. Because while her body's dead, her spirit's still around. So in a way, she is still around. So she has things she likes.
The mage hand, by the way, is just kind of while you're doing that, while you're talking.
Wow, rude.
Levy just kind of glances at it and shrugs.
Do you want to?
Echo kind of just rolls her eyes and starts playing the piano again. She gets another 17.
Oh.
Natural 17 plus. So total of 23. She just goes back to playing the piano.
Okay.
She's very much, you can't tell me what to do. You're not my real mom.
Okay.
Eva, do you think I should maybe move this into the basement?
What, the heart?
Yeah, the harp.
Sure.
It'd be better to keep it there if we're going to keep it at all.
Likely. At least until maybe we can get it restored, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't, because it does make people bleed.
Wait, what? This is the first I've heard about this.
Is it the strings are they're sharp.
Why would
It bites, Hawk.
who would commission
That's
a
what I
harp
was
like
saying.
that?
That's what I was saying. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't really get it either. But all right.
I don't know why the old lady of the house wanted a sharp harp, but let's just put it in the basement and maybe we'll restore it for her.
Maybe it was her
But we'll
grand.
like declaw it or something. Anyways,
Maybe it was her
our
grandmother.
basement.
Maybe it was her mother's. She seemed like a pretty prickly sort. Sharp harp sounds about right for someone like her.
is that what we're calling it? The sharp harp?
That's what Levy called it, so that's what he's calling it.
Fuck it. All right, we named it. Awesome.
The sharp harp, also called the sharp. Wait, shit.
God fucking damn it. Yeah, Levy will help Hawk put it in the basement.
Alright.
Declaw the harp later, maybe. Who knows? New strings.
Sand down the strings.
New strings.
New strings.
So, is there anything else that you guys wanted to do over the next couple of days before everyone else returns? Like, look at like books or anything?
Well,
or...
really quick. After he puts up the harp, Hawk is actually going to go back up to the music room and sort of just like conversationally ask, "I'm curious, where did you learn to play?"
I didn't learn. I'm just doing it.
Really?
No, of course I learned somewhere. There was a piano in the entry hall of the orphanage before it shut down.
Due to lack of funding, or?
Yeah, pretty much.
I was wondering why. Well, you're very good at it.
She kind of like gives you a look like, what's your ulterior motive here, buddy?
Hawkster just like meets the gaze dead on, sort of like shrugs and says, "Just thought you should know."
At this point, Egress wanders back in with a piece of bread from the kitchen. Just kind of sits down on one of the moldy pieces of furniture.
Levy, after taking the harp to the basement, is gonna go to the library and go spelunking for interesting things.
Okay.
All right.
Most of them are history books. You find one on the shelf that is titled Biography of a Princess Aderin Baines. And like when you pull it from the shelf, Esme kind of drifts in. You can tell that she likes that book.
Esme, hello. It's so nice to see you. Oh, hang on. Levy will kind of tuck the book gently under her arm and kind of go sign out while she speaks. You like it? This one? And then she'll try and teach Esme the sign for like, and obviously that.
Okay. Roll an intelligence check just to see how well it comes across.
16.
She is able to sign it back and points at the book again, and you remember that not just kind of flipping through the book, not only is Aderin the name of her daughter, but one of the first crown princesses of Nivelle. You get the impression that this is who her firstborn is named after.
And Levy will actually just start speaking to Esme with accompanying sign language, so that kind of just starts getting
okay
osmosis. between bouts of, oh, hey, yeah, teaching.
All right.
Oh, also, while we were out, Hawk, Erin, and I did have kind of a silly idea, but I did want to run it by you. Hawk was wondering idly, if you could learn magic. So I was wondering if you would like to try learning a spell just to see if it's possible. And also, if you could learn it, that would be really cool. And also, I would teach you something that you could use to kind of touch things and grab them.
She just like starts talking for a little while. You can roll an intelligence check to see if you can figure out what she's saying.
That's another 8.
She seems to be declining.
Okay.
But you can't tell 100%. She seems very nice about it.
Well, okay. Can I at least maybe teach you signs so you can kind of talk to at least some of us quite a bit easier? Okay. Excellent. In the meantime, for yes or no, you really can just nod or shake your head. This is yes, and this is no as well. Wonderful. But that's all right. You don't have to have the magic lessons. I'll probably dismissal, just like polite dismissal. And she's like, okay. Charades. But maybe we'll kind of go. Oh, and we have some new residents. Oh dear. Though if you do want, yes. If you do want to kind of reveal yourself to them, maybe that would be nice. Okay. She gets the general kind of body language sort of thing, the nonverbal communication a little bit, and goes,
I trust you. You get the impression like she's glad to have children back in the house, but she also doesn't want to frighten them away just yet.
Okay.
So she's gonna keep an eye on them.
Aw, okay. Well, clearly be charmed. She's gonna go back to her.
Okay.
Her book.
So you still have a couple of days.
I had a several day plan.
Go for it.
So I have tinker tools now. Hell yeah. What we're gonna do is Hawk's gonna take his time working at the stove to see what exactly is wrong with it and what parts need to be replaced. And then once he can isolate those parts, hopefully before Demir gets back and chews him out for dismantling her oven, he's going to get the damaged parts, bring them to town, and have someone cast replacements.
Okay. So yeah, that would take a couple of days.
And then, of course, once they're all ready, he'll spend time putting them back into the oven, into place, getting them as good as he can, really taking his time with it, just to make sure that he doesn't accidentally, break something, because he doesn't want to deepen the hole that he's dug for himself. But if this goes to plan,
This is going to be perfect.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Roll a tinkering check.
That's not a stat.
That would be intelligence plus if you get you said
Okay,
your
so Tinker's
you said
tools of
Tinker's tool,
intelligence.
so you would be able to add your proficiency.
Okay, cool. All right. So Snape's been kind of kind to me. Yeah. I'll take it. That would be intelligence plus proficiency. That would be a 16.
Okay. Yeah, it's coming along. You're actually feeling pretty good about your work on the oven.
Once he's done, if he's done, he is going to try and turn it on once to make sure that it doesn't explode or something.
Yeah. You're able to turn it on. You strike a match, light the gas, and turn on the stove.
All right. Hopefully this is at least a step in the right direction. And then he'll write one more note saying, he's just gonna, you know what? He's just gonna write one word on it. Fixed.
Okay.
Same handwriting. He's gonna sign it with the same little mask in the corner.
All right.
And back to sorting papers.
Awesome. Erin, do you do anything in the couple of days that the rest of the group is gone?
I think Aaron's mostly just like bustling around, like actually cleaning stuff, which he's kind of been avoiding before now.
Cool.
But yeah, I think he just cleans house for a while.
Cool. All right. Group, the first group, anything else you want to accomplish? Going once.
Sorry, what's up? I was asked a question.
Is there anything else that you would like to accomplish before we switch over to the other group?
I think Levy's probably just gonna putter around the house and probably neaten up things and study books and take
The
notes.
children stay there. You don't always see them,
Hang out
but
with the
at the very
kids
least, you
where-
can feel their presence. Food might be gone here. A puddle might be left in the bathroom there.
Levy will regularly make like a thing of like, I don't know if there's soup ingredients, she'll make soup and leave that to be consumed by the kiddos and leave little notes here and there, not necessarily telling them what to do, but maybe being like, just not necessarily deeming anything off limits, but just being like property of ghost. Other than that, yeah, she just kind of like is friendly with them in passing. Other than that, just doing her thing.
Do you work on translating the Feywild book anymore?
Yeah, fuck it. One more paragraph. She's getting a little lost in the library, but she will go back to that.
It's mostly history books. There are a few books on like hunting techniques. You get the impression those were the husband's books. There's also like a couple of cheesy romance novels.
Nice. She'll probably appraise the state of some of them as well and just be like, if they're in bad shape. Maybe organize a little.
The books are actually in pretty good shape. The library itself is fairly dry.
Nice. She'll probably organize here and there as well while she's doing things, but translation.
Okay.
Intelligence check, yeah.
Yeah.
We got another 23, boys.
Let's see, were you, I think you were on chapter 5.
Hang on. I have the answer to this. It is. Yes, I'm on chapter 5.
Okay. And so actually chapter 6 is pretty short as well, and it's the end of the book. Because it's like a scattered collection of notes. So I'll give you chapter 6 as well, since you rolled so high.
Oh, does that mean she's done? Holy shit.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me send that to you.
Excellent. And then
Mm,
that's it. She's doing her nerd shit and mother henning in her way. So
cool. All right. Just sent chapter 5. Now I'll send you the notes for chapter 6, and that is the end of the book. Discord is fighting me. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Now we can get to the group that went to Opius. So you guys were just about to leave the Arcane Athenaeum, I recall. Was there anything you wish to accomplish before you leave the library?
Tobias didn't have anything.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Demir had asked about books on Bishaba or Timora,
That's
but
right.
I think that was just that was going to be given to her, not something she had to pick up right away. So
Okay. So the way the Arcane Athenaeum works is you find a nice space within the public portions of the library, and you begin to look around at the books, and various librarians give you some of the things that you need. So for the sake of this, are you going to look at the info on Timora or Beshaba first?
let's do Timora first.
Okay. So roll an investigation check.
Okay. Oh, that's a 7.
Yeah. You are able to find a few like flowery descriptions of her. You're not sure how accurate they are, but you learn that she is often called Lady Luck. And she's goddess of good fortune, and you get the impression that like people who gamble like to follow her, otherwise adventurers potentially, saying things like fortune favors the bold, and it's very like flowery, and you're like, I'm not sure how 100% accurate this is, but okay.
Yeah, Demir like her eyes kind of glaze over when she starts getting to like the second paragraph of really flowery language.
Mhm.
And yeah, let's do Bashaba next. She probably reads like one or two, like reads one half a book of the Tamora, like flips through the second one. And then it's just like, no, it's time for Bashaba. But that's a 9.
Okay. You're
I'm putting these
similarly
dice aside.
getting very flowery stuff. Bashaba, Lady Doom, and she's described as like a terrible figure, like you better worship her, or she will send bad luck your way, and she curses people who wrong her, and she wants
immediate eye roll and closes the book. Like thing is, she wants to look up like uncursing items, like about like how you remove curses from items, like what it entails, what it'll do to the object, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So that is a 12.
All right. Well, it really depends on how powerful the curse itself is. Sometimes a simple remove curse can be done by just your average cleric. Sometimes casting a banishment spell on it could work, which may either send the weapon itself away or cause a vengeful spirit to leave it. But then you still have to contend with the connection to the person still being there, even if the weapon itself is out of reach. You could also potentially throw it into lava.
So it seems like basically removing the curse would remove the item is the vibe I'm getting.
In most cases, it seems like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's all the research Demir wanted to do.
Lish, are you researching anything?
Probably not really. He might go and find a big map and just kind of pore over it.
Okay. Are you looking for a map of
the continent?
The continent. Okay. Yeah, you're able to find a map of Seiya pretty easily.
And then once he gets bored of that, he'll work on his pipe some more.
Okay.
He's getting so close.
Roll for pipe.
Sculpting or laying? What am I rolling for this again?
Wisdom check.
$13.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Is it done?
Yeah, pretty much.
Woo! Hell yeah. He's gonna go bother Demir and show her the pipe. With mine own 2 magics.
Do you have anything to smell in it?
Pulls open the bag. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Tiny bag of the dankest fey weed. It's not a lot.
Well, lucky for us, we have someone in the city we can hit up.
They might have some of this, though I don't know if it will be the same quality.
Worth inquiring with.
Well, we know where to look.
Speaking of, I'm rather sick of books.
Yes?
Yes.
What was Tobias doing during
Yeah,
this time?
I was gonna say, before you leave, Tobias, what were you researching?
Shit. I guess he will look into folklore stories of hags and whatnot.
Okay. So hags are interesting. Roll investigation check.
That's an 11.
11. Okay. So you know that hags are a type of fae. They are old and often unknowable. Sometimes their intent is selfish and wicked. Other times they might help, whether it's because they are reaping their own benefits later on, or if they are just interested in observing. They are very, very curious creatures. There are several different kinds of hag, including night hags, green hags, sea hags, snow hags. They really vary depending on what they look like and what they want, and they can be found throughout many different planes. They enjoy making bargains with people, but sometimes they don't even ask for anything in return, and no one's really sure why. They seem to be powerful observers in lots of cases.
Okay.
Anything else you guys want to do before you leave the library?
Demir, like when Lich is coming over to her, is gonna switch into Madhabi and just back in the shop, you were asking about you were asking after making another hawk, weren't you?
Well, I am curious if anybody else was creating such creatures, such beings.
You know,
Hawks is the only one that succeeded.
back in the tower, I had tried to look in on Hawk's father. It didn't work, but I could try again. Might
I
be
think that would
interesting
be-
to speak to him.
Would be intriguing. Seems like we have a lot of people to check in on.
That is true. We have a few days.
That we do.
Might as well give it a shot.
I fully intend to spend at least a portion of one of those days taking advantage of this. And he holds the pipe up. He kind of like turns that towards Tobias and says, "Look, I finished it." Very proud.
I think it looks great.
It's like kind of holds up the little baggie of weed too. It's like, this will be most entertaining.
I see.
Tobias. Demir is going to reach into the little bag that she has and kind of rifle through it and pull out a few pieces of dried fruit and put it in his hand and just try it.
And wait, she put dried fruit into his hand?
Yep.
Oh,
It's one of the
then, yeah,
things
no.
that was in her special bag that Lish got.
Yeah. She has a new bag with her. Kind of
Well,
tied to the side.
he'll pop the dried fruit into his mouth.
It's from my home.
I think it tastes great.
I'm going to use it in baking.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to it. If it tastes this good, I'm curious to see how great it'll taste when added with birdie bait, among other things.
It's a little better once it's added into the bread. It's not quite as dry, but it stays all soft and sweet and tender. I'll show you once we get home.
I very much would like that, yes. I'm not really one who's knowledgeable in the art of cooking, other than just the basic stuff, and to not get food poisoning from it.
I only really know baking, but
Well, then I'd say that gives us a perfect set of tools. Two of us working together to make something.
yeah. And Demir kind of like excitedly showing him like her bread stamps and
He's gonna think
like,
the bread stamps are fucking cool. He's like, ooh, I want to see what this looks like when you use them.
and like, oh, this design is called a hawk's talon. This is called the desert rose. And like she's kind of a little like you kind of get the sense that you have unlocked her special interest a little bit.
And Tobias is very much intrigued by that special interest.
She's very excited to show him. And like the bag itself is like very beautifully embroidered with like a tablet woven strap and all that stuff. But then the bag that she keeps her bread stamps in is like it looks like it was embroidered by someone who was not paying very good attention. So the design is kind of a mess, and the stitching is uneven, and like some of it is too tight and some of it is too loose. And like when Demir realizes what she is holding, she just kind of quietly puts it back in the bag and just like pulls the items out of it like she's hiding it a little. have to show you when we get back.
Yeah, Lish has his bag too at his hip, and he mentions to Toby, if you have anything that you would like for me to keep safe, be happy to do so.
Well, thankfully, nothing at the moment. I tend to travel rather light, anyways. But the moment I do, I'll definitely ask.
I'll be going to go to church then, get that curse removed.
I think that would be a great idea.
I agree.
I don't think we should.
I think we have to.
From what I was reading,
It'll be fine.
I don't want to let go of this item. It seems as if to remove the curse is to get rid of the sword.
Yes. That is the plan.
No.
If this thing hurts you in some kind of attempt to protect someone else, what is the point then?
It can save someone from death.
I
It
can
can heal.
save someone from death.
Which if it's you that needs saving.
We will find other ways, Demir. And when it sounds like this sword is manipulating you. And didn't you say yourself you're tired of being manipulated?
I am. But if something happens to Lish, I lose everything. It is more important that you live than I.
Let us at least go talk to someone. Perhaps there are other methods, despite the one that you read in the book.
Okay. But I'm not letting it go. Unless there is a way to guarantee that I can keep its abilities.
So we'll go, I don't know if we can ask while we're in the archives if anybody knows of any clerics particularly known for curse breaking.
Roll an investigation check.
My investigation's not that high. Maybe just how is Toby's?
Tobias has an advantage and a +5 to investigation.
Can maybe Toby roll for investigation, asking around?
Okay, and
Mind
because
helping?
Tobias has an advantage with investigation, that means he rolls twice, correct?
If
Yes.
Avery's all right with it.
I don't know. On Tobias's character sheet, it lists that he has an advantage investigation.
Yeah.
Does that mean he rolls twice, or does that mean that's how he has the +5?
Yeah, that means you roll twice and take the higher.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because I've been doing it wrong this whole time, and I'm trying to make sure I do it correctly.
If you want, I can write down like a short, quick summary in general if you want.
That actually might be helpful, just like minor things to know.
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm not as well versed with D&D. That's gonna be a 15.
Okay.
Yeah, but remember the
Wow.
proficiency isn't advantage for a skill. Just because you're proficient in it just means that you add.
It means you add a little extra.
You add a little extra. But you do, in this case, have advantage because Lish is helping you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on the sheet, it there's the proficiency off to the side, but then it also has the little advantage. I'll screenshot it.
So, asking around the librarians and the archivists, there aren't any specific people known for curse breaking or anything, but there is a section of town in Opius, you may recall, called Temple Town, as most of the city's temples are along the road. The largest temple is to Joaquin, but there are also smaller temples to other popular deities, including Saloon, Soon, Gond, Helm, Shanti, and Tempest.
Okay, say the different religions again. Tempest.
So, the largest one is to Joaquin. Hang on, let me just pull up to make sure I'm doing this right. So Joaquin is the goddess of trade. There's also I have so many tabs open, you guys. There's also Saloon, who is the goddess of the moon. There's a temple to Soon, the goddess of love and beauty. There's a temple to Gond, who is the god of craft. There's a temple to Helm, the god of protection. There's a temple to Shanti, the goddess of agriculture. And then there's a temple to Tempest, the god of war.
Okay. Kind of look at Demir like, what do you think is probably our best one? Probably the largest.
Seems like protection, maybe.
Protection's not a bad idea.
I don't imagine what the god of trade would have to do, but perhaps.
Just as far as sheer resources.
We can try both.
Let's start with protection, perhaps.
Okay. Let me pull up where I have the description for his temple. Just a second. Okay. So as you guys step from the arcane Athenaeum, and you start walking through the Wise District, and it's at this point I would like you all to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy. Oops. a 13 for me.
13.
That is a 5 for Tobias.
Okay. Lish.
That is an 18.
18. Okay, so Lish, you do not see this, but Demir and Tobias, you both do. As you guys are walking, you pass by a space that looks like there was once a building there. You know how when people are doing construction and they remove a building, they kind of just leave behind a bunch of rocks and maybe hay or whatever. It's just an empty space where a building once was. And Lish, this is what you see. Demir and Tobias, you're seeing this empty space and it's wrong to you. It hurts your head looking at it. And as you look, you don't know how you missed it, but there is a giant creature sitting there. It is enormous. It is about the size of a building where the building once was, and there are metal aspects to it, apparently made out of platinum, but that is not the bulk of its mass. It seems to be winged and some sort of combination of draconic and feline in shape, in addition to these metal aspects. It's got a metal mask on, and its front paws seem to be armored. Its body, however, seems to be made of raw arcane energy, fuchsia in hue and flecked with stars. And it watches you, and its eyes glowing this color of fuchsia that is so bright it seems almost white, and it seems to be staring into your very core. And then you blink, and it is gone.
Demir definitely like grabbed onto Lish with one of her hands and had drawn her other one up to start to potentially cast the spell. And then when she blinks and it's gone, she just kind of like, fuck.
Lish is like concerned looking.
You have sort of like a tension headache looking at the space where the creature once was, and you feel like when you passed in there was a building here, and you're looking around and none of the other people on the street seem to be seeing this empty space.
Demir like kind of stops and rubs her eyes and looks at Lish and Toby.
Is everything okay? Did you see? He's like looking into this thing, into the construction area, like, there's somebody there?
Tobias, oh, go ahead.
No, she just, did you see?
Just like, see what? What did you see?
There was something, a creature?
What kind of creature?
I don't, a dragon? Cats? I don't, something.
Demir has minor illusion, right?
Yeah.
Can you show me?
Yeah. Demir's going to try and cast minor illusion to cover it up.
Somehow, even with the minor illusion, you cannot capture the full intensity of this creature. It looks like in your hand you're holding a purple tressum, but that's not it at all, and it's frustrating you.
Yeah, she definitely like tries casting it and dispelling it and casting it and dispelling it and casting it and dispelling it, like trying to get it and just getting more and more frustrated each time she tries.
Does it capture like an essence of this thing that I can like tell kind of the general shape of it?
You get the impression that it's like a cat thing.
Can I roll some kind of arcana check?
Yeah, roll an arcana check.
$16.
You have no idea.
Kind of look at Tobias like, did you see this as well? Does Tobias look like concerned?
Tobias looks horrified. His gaze just locked onto where the creature was. He's like way more pale and his hands are shaking pretty bad. He looks like frozen in place.
She'll kind of like rub his shoulder, rub his back, like, it's all right. There's nothing there, Tobias. There's nothing there.
You saw it too.
Touches him as if he just completely forgot that he was around other people. Before kind of like snapping his gaze away from where the thing was and like to Lish, just kind of speechless.
Demir is going to take Toby's hand.
Whatever it was, it's not here now.
What building was that?
Lish just kind of shrugs, like, don't know.
Lish, you vaguely remember a building being there your first time visiting Opius, but you didn't ever go in there, so you don't really know.
Yeah, he wouldn't have paid attention to that.
Demir's like, is there anyone near us on the street? Anyone like walking by? Any locals?
There are various citizens. You are in the Wise district of Opius, which giving a proper description, I believe that's where most of like the government buildings are, where the important people live. So there are various and sundry fancy people walking around.
Demir is going to look for someone who looks like kind of official looking, and go up to, excuse me, what building used to be there?
You approach a a human woman who seems to be in fine robes. And you see her kind of look the at where you're pointing, and then look back at you, and there's sort of a faraway look in her eyes, and she kind of frowns and says, I'm not sure. Actually, I remember something being there. Maybe we're going to build something there. And with that, she just kind of starts walking away. You recall a similar look in the eyes of the people in the town that you woke up in the field when asked about the bandits nearby and the group that had come to defeat them.
Yeah. Yeah. Demir is like, actually, she's going to go up, like, try and find, like, ask a couple of people, like one or two other people, and point out the space, and if she gets that same sort of reaction, yeah, go back to Lish and Toby, just like, it's like before when we were talking to the townspeople about Kniven the Bloody. They it's like something's missing.
More time.
No,
more memory.
Memory, an entire building, a venturing party.
Lish doesn't seem to have answers. I don't think that if we continue to ask, they will know. I'll go kind of closer up to this area where this building was and see if there's anything I can investigate as to what happened to it.
Sure. Roll an investigation check.
$15.
You're able to find some rocks.
Anything significant about the rocks?
Not at all.
Great. He just kind of shrugs and looks at Demir and Toby. There are no answers here. Shall we continue on? I'll just start kind of guiding the two of them away from this spot, since they seem kind of rooted.
All right.
Yeah, like Demir will, after like a minute or two of kind of like frustration, will go on her own, like it isn't being pulled as much.
Yeah, I mean, Lish isn't like yanking him or anything. He's just kind of like hands at the small of their back, just kind of herd.
All right.
Water ducks back. You don't know what it is. Yeah, so we're still heading to the temple. of protection.
To the Temple of Helm. So this building itself seems rather unremarkable when compared to that of the temple surrounding it. The walls are built with light gray stones in a manner that would accommodate acoustics and block most of the sounds from the street. If you choose to enter.
Yeah.
So the building itself, there are a few grand statues depicting Helm himself and various heroes of the church, and there's Helm's holy symbol displayed prominently on the stonework and on suits of armor that are around. This doesn't look like a your typical temple in a way. It seems like a very peaceful place to worship if you choose. However, the way it's set up and the way the room is arranged, there are several cots available and visible. And you get the impression that this is a building to help serve some of the more unfortunate people of the area.
Look and see if there's a head priest.
All right.
Person.
You see a half-orc man wearing the temple vestments, and he seems to be going around and speaking to a couple of other people, making sure that the temple itself is stocked with food.
Hello, friend. You wouldn't happen to have any curse breakers on staff, would you?
My apologies, but curse breaking is not our particular specialty. Are you looking for a place to stay and cannot afford an inn?
No, we are looking for curse breaking.
I would recommend going to the city of Royas. They have quite a few.
They are useless there.
What is the nature of this curse?
It is a sword that heals as much as it takes.
I see.
Possibly associated with Tamora or Bishaba. I don't know which is true.
May I inspect the item?
Demir will very hesitantly show him the sword, but keep a hand on it.
Lish looks at her expectantly, like, don't even think about not.
Yeah, she shows it to him, but keeping her hands on it.
Okay. He thinks for a moment, and I would recommend asking at the temples of Helm within Avatix. They may have more resources at hand.
Let me pull the map up.
Avatex is in the middle of the country.
The capital.
It's the capital.
Yeah. And we're
I would recommend going to see those who worship the goddess of magic.
Lish looks so annoyed. He looks so pissed.
I do also know that there is a temple to Tamora in Avatix. And if what you say is true about this sword being related to her in some way, I'm sure that they would be very happy to assist.
Yes, you would think that they would want their own relics back. I do not think that Volk would miss it so much if we were to give it away.
I don't think we should give it away.
Darling, we can find some other kind of healing magic that does not come at the cost of your own life.
If that is what you're looking for, I can spare a couple of potions.
What kind of potions?
Potions that would help heal you in dire situations.
Well, seeing as how this one continues to throw herself into danger, perhaps we are in need of something like that.
I do know that there is a potion seller in the market, but she strikes me as a little odd. And I don't know if she has healing potions.
We have potions of healing.
Hmm.
More. That which might be beyond healing that I am more concerned with. For example, being disintegrated.
It would take quite powerful magic to bring someone back from disintegration.
Exactly.
I don't know if that sword could even bring someone back from that condition.
At this point, Nevara speaks up in your head, Demir. I could help anyone, even if they were disintegrated. If there's no body left, I could bring them back.
Shut up, Navara, you little asshole.
You can't hear her.
No. I mean, insight check. Can I tell when Demir's getting herself talked to? I assume that she doesn't have much of a poker face for it.
I mean, fucking insight check me.
Roll deception.
Are you trying to hide it from me? Why?
Insight check me, bitch.
That's a 16 on the die.
She needs to protect
7.
the sword, Lish.
What in total?
23.
Yeah, Demir is definitely getting talked to. You beat on.
Good thing my insight's decent. Yeah, she's getting talked to. He as the holy person kind of pulls back from the sword, Lish kind of takes the sword in hand and like pulls it up to his face, like, if you don't stop talking to my wife, I will make sure that we find some lava to throw you in. And lets
Bad
it go.
vein.
The half-orc gentleman looks like kind of weirded out and surprised that you're doing this, Lish.
He doesn't care what the priest thinks.
Demir just like, bad vein, please.
You're embarrassing me in front of the priest.
Takes the sword back.
Alice just kind of huffs and kind of like looks at the two of them like, perhaps one of the other temples might have a little bit more information. He just like deeply sighs in a way that says that he has no confidence in them having anything useful.
Unfortunately, the economy of Opius is more focused on trade rather than worship. If you're looking for larger temples, look in Avatix. I've heard of a larger temple of Soon in Royas. There's also a couple of temples in Iera. If you're looking to place your faith in the ocean, Dordrani and Azura both have access to some of the more natural gods.
Would I know if Auril has a temple somewhere established, or is she more of like fuck around at the top of a mountain sort of worship?
She's more fuck around at the top of a mountain worship. There's all sorts of mountain ranges nearby.
She doesn't have a temple somewhere that I know of.
Being a goddess that tends to focus on the darker aspects of winter, such
Being
as
evil means that
the death of crops or people starving and freezing to death. You'd probably be able to find shrines to her in isolated places where it tends to be more cold, such as the shrine that you found her in the unclaimed lands, or if you were lucky, maybe one in the mountains.
Well, we know where there isn't one, at least anymore.
Look,
we can always
Auril
make
can fuck
one.
around and find out.
That's exactly what she said in response. And somebody got eaten. Let's just kind of like pinches his nose bridge, like, God. Well, your assistance has been quite gracious. If we have any other need of you, we will be sure to reach out.
The half-orc waves over to one of the other priests, who approaches with a regular potion of healing and offers it to you.
Just kind of nods most graciously, and you will put it in his bag of holding.
All right.
Is there like a collection tin or like a place to...
There is. At the base of several of the statues around there are little small offerings left, like gold. There's a child's doll next to one of them. There's a spool of thread. Very meager offerings.
Let's see. A potion of healing is like 50 gold pieces?
Yeah.
Yeah, Demir will put 50 gold pieces into the collection tin.
And the half-orc says, I we quite appreciate your donation. I
Keep up the good work.
apologize for not being able to be more help.
All right. Demir will look at Lish and Toby like.
Lish is ready to leave. So he'll start kind of heading out.
Tobias is ready to leave as well.
Demir will follow.
All right. And where do you go?
Well, I could use some drugs.
Yeah, Lish kind of stands on the street with his hands on his hips, like frustration. He kind of looks at Toby and is just like, would you like to stop by the moon temple, or shall we go take our rest for the day? Celebrate what we did find.
I'd just like to go home.
Well, we still have a bit of time, and I assume like half of my spells are burned from getting here this morning, so we have to spend the night.
That's fine.
We can leave tomorrow.
We'll leave tomorrow.
Tobias nods at that.
It's just like, let's go find a bit more to smoke. I have to break in this new pipe.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go see if we can find the droogs.
The drugs.
All right. So you recall that the inn called the Hornet's Nest is the one with the Silver Azamar barkeep, who offered you something a little stronger.
Ludwig.
That's right. So, Ludwig is there, and the bouncer, the half orc named Matuk, whom Buren noticed was standing on a trap door last time, is still there, and as well as Vice and Roland, the guys he beat in the the arm wrestling contest. They are now doing a drinking contest, though. Still with Roland doing the heavy lifting. But for the sake of time, we will say that you approach Ludwig and he speaks to Matuk about getting you into the drug den. And down there, it's a little bit hazy. There's something in the air. There is a human man at a counter with pushed back like light brown hair with a few gray streaks in it. And you can see that one of his eyes is a false eye made out of metal with a little amethyst set into it. And he is introduced to you by Ludwig as Elias, but you're pretty sure that's not his real name. And they have a few options for you in terms of drugs with varying prices. There's one called Alchemist's Mercy. There's Baccaran. There's Kathagu. There's the Elixir of Fantasy.
Elixir of Fantasy.
Which and then there's Green Rapture, Liquid Courage, Moog's Cheer, Dream Mist, Mushroom Blue, Reliance Comfort, Rahul, Tongue of Madness, and Vorndir.
Are they like laid out in front of us, or is it just kind
No.
of a menu? do any
These
of
are the ones that he lists as having available.
Do any of these sound familiar to my time in the Feywild? Would be like
Not
Fey
really.
drugs.
Well, you had the Dream Mist.
Lish will take his little bag of Fey weed out and kind of offer it for them to inspect and smell and say, do you have anything similar to this? Perhaps of Fey origin.
Well, we have nothing of Fey origin, but we
Looks like
you are looking
his hand. No.
for something to be inhaled. I would recommend Mushroom Blue. It is made of rare fungus found in the Underdark.
And it does what effect?
It gives you a sense of self-confidence.
Do you have something that can be smoked in a pipe?
Let me check.
It's all edibles, these motherfuckers.
No, I just told you that Mushroom Blue is it you inhale.
You don't usually put it in mushrooms in a pipe, though.
Well, that's powdered.
Would
You pluck the mushrooms, you powder it, grind it up, it turns electric blue, and then you inhale.
Well, yeah, you don't put that in a pipe.
That's why I'm checking.
Unless I want to like nose smoke my pipe.
I love the little quiet. Let me check.
There is the Tongue of Madness, which could be smoked, or it could be turned into tea, depending on what your preference is. There is also Reliance Comfort, which is quite rare.
And what are the effects of these two? And what are the prices?
Well, Reliance Comfort. Some illnesses to the mind are so severe they threaten the very existence of the sufferer. So this is a substance that can certainly help someone feel more peaceful about any existence that may cause them suffering. Tongue of Madness. It is also rare, but it relaxes you to the extent that you may speak aloud most of the thoughts that you have for the next hour or so, but it relaxes you and you can feel it through your whole body.
Do you have any that will make you laugh?
Double checking. Made drugs for you guys, but
there's so many drugs. Lish is gonna stay away from the one that makes you blab your brain. Not a thing he wants.
No. Why not? What are you keeping from us, Lish?
Everything. All the things.
Liquid courage is rather uncommon, but it is ingested, but it is a liquid. It would not work for your pipe. It is distilled from several varieties of fungus, including one with hallucinogenic properties. Makes you feel brave, but it also makes everything seem amusing.
Interesting.
It was created by the dwarves.
How much would it be to say, have a smattering of variety? Say 5 or 8 doses of different things that are intriguing.
Well, I can say with certainty that if you take several doses of things all at once, you will die and no one will see you again.
Not at the same time, friend.
Well, it depends on how much you're willing to spend.
How much does a dose of something usually go for, on average?
Depends on the rarity of the substance.
Mid-tier rarity. Intrigue.
Bornador is about 125 gold pieces for a dose.
How much is the one to soothe the mind?
Is the which one?
There was one that was like soothe the mind of like mental.
Reliance Comfort.
Yeah, that one.
That one is very rare, and as such, it is very difficult to come across. So that one is more expensive than I imagine you can afford.
I can afford a lot. I just want to know the price.
2,100 gold pieces.
These back alley dealers sure have
Damn.
a lot of confidence. They must be smoking their own supply. Lish takes out 100 gold and says, do you have 4 doses of 4 different things that 100 gold would cover?
Well, 100 gold would mean a vial of Alchemist's Mercy, a vial of Cathagru, an elixir of fantasy, and a dose of Rahul.
All for 100. Or 100 each.
Those altogether would be 100 total. Those ones are more common and they are cheap.
And they come with descriptions of what they are. He kind of shifts the gold pouch closer to them.
They do indeed.
Done. And he'll
All right.
give you
So
100 gold.
all right. So you have 1 dose of Alchemist's Mercy. I will put all of these down in the chat. Because they are spelled weird because it's a fantasy realm.
Weird drugs.
And I will give you the descriptions in a moment here too. Felix, I see you're gonna have to leave soon. That's okay. I don't think you're gonna miss much.
Just contraband fantasy drugs.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the usual stuff.
I think the only thing we gotta do after picking up drugs is we're gonna go to the hookah lounge brothel and we're gonna see if we can get the girdle for you. We'll see.
Wow, that's love. Drugs and a girdle.
We don't know it exists, but hopefully if we just show up, it will.
We'll see.
Go
We'll see.
party.
All right.
Yeah. Where do you know where we could find pipeweed? Since you do not supply.
Well, Kathagu can be smoked.
Yes. Oh, we lost the lady.
Oh well. All right.
Cool.
And I'm making sure to give you the proper descriptions.
Drugs.
Drugs.
I'm excited to have a grab bag of random stuff.
We got a sampler platter.
A sampler platter of goo. What does Toby seem like as we're getting these drugs?
Did he even come down with us to the drug den?
He's staying silent the whole time. He followed you guys around because he doesn't really want to be out of sight of you guys, or doesn't want you guys out of sight. But he's just standing off closer to the door. Doesn't look entirely comfortable, kind of just looking down at the floor and stuff as he waits for you guys to finish.
I'm just imagining Toby just like tagging along because he wants to be with his friends, and he's just sitting out here, just like, oh my god, they're gonna eat a drug.
911.
I would never eat a drug.
Is that a weed?
I support him.
Working on it, I promise.
I mean, if you want to send it to us later, it's fine.
No,
I don't think we're
I'm
going to
into
take
now.
any.
I assume that the hookah brothel probably has its own drugs.
Might.
At least just like tobacco.
Yeah.
Almost done. On to the last one. Okay. Take that. And so you have one dose of each of those.
Ew. Elixir of fantasy.
Elixir of Fantasy is like a watered down version of the Green Mist that you guys had before.
Oh yeah, we can turn Aaron into a true barbarian with one of these. The aggro drug.
It's bath salts.
You just like hook up Aaron to like a tap
Oh God, no!
IV
Turning
drip.
Aaron into a drug-fueled barbarian sounds like the worst idea that we've
It
ever
happens in
had.
all the best sci-fi fantasy. Okay, you can have a.
Okay,
an
listen,
IV
I
drip.
get it. I get it. I get that's an aesthetic. I don't think we should do that to our precious artist boy.
Could.
We could, though.
We could, but should we?
I am not going to let you drug anyone without their consent. Unless
Did I say without consent? I'm
That's
sure
fair,
that we
but
can get
this
Aaron
just
in
makes
on
the question: would Aaron eat a drug?
this. Yes.
Aaron, do you want drugs?
He wouldn't download a weed.
I would download weed.
Be honest, Aaron would definitely do a weed.
I don't know. It could go either way, I think. But that's not me. I'm not Aaron, so
The den itself has several booths you can sit in and zonk out in if you want. And actually, a couple of them do actually have people in them. There's one where there's a gnome dude just like fucking passed out and sprawled over an area, and there's another one where a dude just takes a shot, leans back.
Alicia's like, this is not the fun, flirty atmosphere that I am looking for in my relaxation time. I think after we get the drugs, we'll probably pop out of there and go find some place to eat, relax, smoke, chill.
Samir and Marhabi just like, how do they not have Kush? Like,
Alicia's just like, these people are too fancy for their own good. Sometimes you just need the bare essentials.
So, in Opius, you remember Ink, the tabaxi that scammed you guys on your way in, mentioned a brothel called the Siren's Call, more in the rougher part of town, closer to the docks. And as you guys start making your way that way, that's where we will call session.
Dope.
got a lot done today.
Yeah.
Kind of.
we bought drugs.
Drugs.
Lots happened. I am excited to get on the road again, but this is also very good.
We got drugs and then
Yeah, take all the time you guys need.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once we're done with this period of downtime, it's going to be go.
We gotta go save Bud and figure out what the
Going
heck
to the
is-
realm, going to the dream plane. Like, we're not going to have another period of rest after this for a long time. So
I don't think
Yeah.
so. No. Like while we're over there, after we're done with Poet's business, Hawk might want to pursue his own agenda. I'm still trying to figure that out.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Lots of exciting stuff in the future, but this is good for now.
gotta take advantage of this downtime. Otherwise, it'll just be.
I've wanted to buy Tinker's Tools since I actually started playing, so I'm glad that I finally have that.
Nice.
Oh,
I doubt I'll be making anything cool with it, but
Nice to
Yeah,
have you.
yeah. Well, we were kind of like walking through the market, is it possible for Demir to have popped into a shop and bought some like chef's tools?
Yeah, we'll say yeah.
Awesome.
You could have passed through.
yes,
Yeah, I will do that. That was a gold piece.
we support
I will-
Master Chef Demir.
Yes.
I will go ahead and add that to my inventory. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for playing, guys.
Thank you.
For DMing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks a bunch, as always. Great to see you guys.
Yeah.
See you guys next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
We're back on
Pass
our regular
out.
schedule.
Have a great
Bye,
weekend.
guys.